Hi, I'm Randy Alvarez. You're watching the Randy and Christa Show.
And I'm Christa Orecchio, and this is news that makes you healthier. And today we are going to supercharge our immune system.
Okay, good, good.
Okay,
now,
good.
this isn't just lip service. You know, it's not corny to say news that makes you healthier. You know, when we put this show together, we said, especially you two, that, you know, when you watch the show, there's some takeaways that you could improve your life. Healthier.
That's the entire point. Most news is negative. Our news is positive, and there's action items.
This is what I believe. That this show allows people to do more of what they love to do.
Yes.
Because if you have more energy, you go hunting. It's like the Hair Club for Men commercial. Hunting and fishing and swimming and surfing and parasailing and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
if
well,
you have
whatever
energy.
you like. If you don't have your health, you can't live a happy, vibrant life. And so that's what we're here to do, is make some small effect to help people live healthier and happier.
Now, you have a big advantage because you get to see absolute transformations in your clinical practice as a nutritionist with patients. I mean, people that are literally can't function, can't hold a relationship, right? All these things.
And that's the thing. If you go, I mean, I don't want to get too far off topic, but if you go with undiagnosed Lyme disease for years, it can destroy a relationship. It can destroy your kids. You can't get out of bed. If you have adrenal fatigue that you can't recover from, you don't enjoy things you used to enjoy, and you lose your sense of self. And so that's why we're here doing this show, News That Makes You Healthier, is to be able to incrementally build off of each show. The things that you learn in each show, I would love for our viewers to be able to take a few takeaways each time.
Well, let's talk topical news. It's so-called flu season.
Yes.
Right now, right? You just faced this.
I just faced it, yeah.
And people are getting the flu shots. In fact, some people in my office want to get a flu shot. One already got a flu shot. The other one's probably going to get the flu shot. So
are you getting the flu shot?
No.
Do you ever get the flu shot?
No. No.
I never get the flu shot.
Yeah. You laughed on the phone. I said, do you get a flu shot? And you laughed on the phone.
Well, it made me realize, does he not know me? I mean, you're my co-host.
But you take antibiotics every once in a while. So you're capable of taking a flu shot or getting a flu shot.
Sure, I'm capable.
Was that a mean thing to say, by the way, what I just said?
Well, everything you say is mean. I can't differentiate anymore.
In our world, is that mean to like throw in you took a...
No, because I'm not trying to be up on a pedestal of... I'm human, so antibiotics once every 6 years isn't, you know, frequently, but this show, what I want this show to be, is the blend of Western medicine and natural medicine and the best of both worlds. And in the last show we just recorded, we talked about that. It's not no more one camp and then the other. It's we both have a lot of value to bring to the table, and if we actually join forces, we can get this country a whole lot healthier. And so I think that's, it's not bashing, oh, you got the flu shot, oh, you took antibiotics. I'm not totally against the flu shot. I don't get it myself.
I mean, if you
never
have an extremely suppressed immune system,
then you might
probably
need
a good idea.
it. If you're the elderly, like, you might potentially need it, but there's no guarantee that the strain that they're giving you matches the strain of flu going around. And I don't know enough to know why they have to put all those excipients that ultimately damage the system into vaccines. Why are there heavy metals? Why is there formaldehyde? Why are there FD&C dyes? I mean, that's really kind of the whole excipient thing is my problem with the flu shot.
Excipient. Okay. I've never heard you use that word on the show for sure before. But because I think the heavy metals, I mean, the way I've had people actually explain this to me a few times, and I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
But it's necessary to keep it for shelf life. It's also for it to work, to be effective.
Okay.
Certain things have to be in there.
Isn't there an alternative, or is it a cost issue?
It's a cost thing as well. There's cheaper ways to do it.
What could you use as an alternative?
Okay, but back to, well, I don't know. But back to this flu shot. Okay, but what can we do? Like at the time, oh, first of all, what's your take on the flu season? Why does it happen every time December, January, February?
Well, sure, you're closed up, you're indoors, the weather is cold, the human body's 98.6 degrees, and you know, every degree that the weather drops, especially in other parts of the country, it's more of a stress for your system to maintain that core temperature.
Some people, you know, tell me, because I don't, as you know, I don't catch colds. I don't get this flu season. You know, to me, it's funny to me, but people will think it's like it's in the air. You're going to catch it in the air, and that's true. It is. These things are in the air at all times, right? Like you're on a plane. There's somebody coughing in front of me. That didn't bother me. The person I was with bothered her. You know, it's like, oh, this person's coughing. And I felt like, I know this sounds crazy, but as an opportunity to build my immune system. Is that crazy to think that?
I don't think it's crazy at all. I mean, you have to be exposed. We can't be germaphobes.
Yeah, but the
you have
flu
to build your
season,
immune system.
number one, the holidays, people are eating more, which now your body has to use energy to digest more food than it normally does.
Well, and they're eating more of the wrong foods. And sugar. We're going to do a whole sugar show next.
Okay.
But
it's also
sugar is
cold.
the number one immune suppressor.
And because it's cold, your body has to more energy to heat itself to 98 degrees, right? So I think that the reason why it's flu season is because your body has to work harder. So it's working on digestion, it's working on heating itself.
Well,
and
we're
now
also
it can't
cooped up
fight
indoors.
off.
Bacteria is recirculating. You're not
Okay.
having the windows open and allowing, yeah.
And
things
if
to
you have
get
a bad immune system going into this, you're going to catch it. That's why, as you know, some people, it's flu season, got to hit the vitamin C, the zinc, and I think at that point it's too late. I was telling one of the people that work here that, you know, it's what you did 2-3 months ago maybe that would have affected today.
I
What are your
disagree.
thoughts?
I disagree. I
Interesting.
think that there's a lot of things you can do. You know, we use a medicinal mushroom complex with shiitake and maitake and reishi mushrooms, and what that does is that boosts the natural killer cells, which are the front lines of your immune system. So if we're talking about an army here, you just added more guys and you loaded their guns.
So I'm not talking necessarily about not doing the mushrooms and building it up right now. I'm talking about
a foundation.
You know, to not cram all of a sudden a bunch of stuff at the last minute.
Yeah, it's lifestyle. You
But
have
what do
to
you
have
do?
a
Okay, so
lifestyle.
somebody listening to this, they're about to get a flu shot. What can they do right now? They're starting to feel achy, starting to feel things come on. I know you like mushrooms.
Yes, I like to use medicinal mushrooms. So we use, in the health food store, I like New Chapter's Life Shield Immunity, and I have people take 3 twice a day. Obviously,
What are they? Say
you
that
want to
again.
check
Slow that
with your
down for a
doctor.
second.
They're a medicinal mushroom complex made of reishi mushroom, maitake mushroom, shiitake mushroom.
Okay.
So these are all
Is it
these
powder
different
form?
species of mushrooms. It's a powder form that you take in the form of a supplement.
Okay.
And think about it like nature's airborne. Everybody knows what airborne is, to boost your immune system. And so that's really what it is. Or I will have my clients, I'll say, okay, to build immunity over time, you want to get used to having these foods in your diet. And any health food store in the produce section, you can find these mushrooms. You saute them up. You know, they're very easy. You can make anything, risotto or rice pilaf. They cook super fast. They taste really good.
Okay. What's another thing you could do to boost immune systems?
To boost your immune system, so we can do what we call the whole journey nature's flu shot. Doesn't
Okay.
taste great, but we use pineapple juice because of the enzymes, and then we mix about a fourth. Let's say you do 1 cup of pineapple juice, and you do 2 cloves of raw garlic. We talked about garlic boosting your immune system.
All right. So this pineapple juice has to be fresh, squeezed pineapple juice?
It doesn't have to be. It just shouldn't have added sugar, or citric acid, or preservatives. So you just get it in a health food store.
Okay. It could be out of
And
a
it's
can?
not acid forming. I wouldn't say out of a can. Most of the good organic ones are going to be out of a jar in the juice aisle. And I would suggest that you blend this. You know, otherwise you're going to be swallowing garlic. It's not going to be good. So in a blender, 1 cup of pineapple juice, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, raise your core temperature.
Okay.
2 cloves of raw garlic.
Okay.
1/4 of a teaspoon ginger, 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric, you know, for inflammation. And you can put some raw honey in there because it has antimicrobial properties, and we're trying to kill the bad bugs. That and the garlic. Blend it up and drink that twice a day for a couple days.
Okay.
Kids actually drink it because it does taste sweet because of the pineapple juice. So that's something you can do. Or you can take the medicinal mushrooms, or there's so many different immune boosters. There's olive leaf extract. There's grapefruit seed extract. There's pau d'arco, which I was telling you about the last show that we did.
Okay.
There's
these
you
are
can
last
speak to
minute?
vitamin C, Mr. 18 grams a day. You want to talk
these-
to vitamin C boosting your immune
Well,
system?
no, yeah, I mean, I believe, you know, Linus Pauling wrote a book about this. And I think he died at 93, but he was a big drinker and partied and, you know, killed himself that way. But and I told you, I don't catch, people that know me know I don't catch colds. And, you know, or sneezing and all that kind of, you know, I just don't get the runny nose. And I'm around sick people, you know. I mean, I could be around a girlfriend with, you know, a runny nose and the flu, or my wife, runny nose or flu, and I'm convinced I don't catch it. So I have to think, you know, what is it? It's not necessarily a super immune system. My father catches cold, my dad, but I have been taking for like 40 years, literally, no, not 40 years, 35 years, I've been taking at least 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C.
So
has to have something to do
that
with
has
it.
a lot to do with it. You also told me that you the first time you ever took antibiotics was at age 32. So that's pretty fantastic that you had a chance to boost and build your immune system naturally, and you eat healthy. I mean, we have to talk about the importance of diet. You don't eat a ton of sugar. You eat a lot of protein and vegetables. I try to get those complex carbs in there every time I eat with you.
I'm afraid of carbs sometimes.
But yeah,
and I take a good multivitamin. I take a green drink, you know, whenever I can. Alpha lipoic acid, you know, but, I mean, and garlic, lots of garlic. And I think that, and I try to get 8 hours of sleep. I mean, sleep to me is a big priority. I think that alone is going to really get you ready for not catching a cold.
Sleep is paramount to the whole of life, to how you're feeling, how you're sleeping, building human growth hormone, if your hormones are balanced. And so, yeah, you want to make sure and nurture yourself and give yourself more sleep. I mean, animals hibernate in the winter for a reason. We do need more sleep, and it's darker earlier for a reason. We should start to wind down, if at all possible, and do these things.
So what else what do you know about the flu shot being bad? What, I mean, let's say somebody watches this, because it's ready at the end of today, because we're shooting live, by the way. What do you say to talk somebody out of it? Obviously,
I don't ever really try to talk anyone out of it, but from what I know, you weigh the odds. And again, it's case specific for the individual client I'm working with and evaluating their immune system. I feel like if you're working with me and you're committed to the work we're doing, there's no need for the flu shot, because you will have so many different tools in your arsenal to give you a similar effect to really build long-term immunity. And yeah, of course, I'm going to get them using food as medicine. So there's 5 foods with more vitamin C than an orange, and I'm going to tell them about that so that they can use food as medicine and get those foods in.
Now, you recently, if you don't mind me, because you brought it up on the other show, you recently got sick.
Yeah.
And you were in record cold weather back east.
Yes.
Visiting your parents?
Visiting my parents, family.
Your parents are a big fan of our show, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they watch the Wellness Hour.
They watch you because our show doesn't air in New Jersey yet. Yes, so they're watching you on the Wellness Hour, and now you're schooling them on dental health.
Do they constantly say, "What is he like?"
No, my mom told me to tell you to wear a purple shirt. Remember that one time?
Oh, is that right? Purple shirt? I have a few of those.
She thinks that'd be a good color.
I try not to wear...
The sleeves were too short. That's why you couldn't wear it the last time.
That's right. Boy, you do have a good memory. Okay, so but back to immune system and your vitamin C. You don't take a lot of vitamin C. You get it in the foods you eat.
So I use a camu powder. So there's a berry. I know this always cracks you up. You're always going to learn something from me. And this is a berry that comes from the Amazon and comes from South America. Okay. I believe it has about 480 milligrams of vitamin C per teaspoon. So you find it in the superfood section of the health food store. To give you perspective, the orange, to have one orange, you have 88 milligrams of vitamin C. So to have 1 teaspoon of this food-based vitamin C, I throw that in my smoothie if I'm feeling run down, or it builds collagen, it helps with the adrenals, it helps with so many different things. And so I prefer to get my vitamin C from food. Red bell peppers have 3 times the amount of vitamin C as an orange. So how much
vitamin C do you think you get a day?
When I'm in my normal life, right? Traveling, our life shifts, our diet shifts. But in my normal life, I'd say I'm getting at least 1,500 milligrams a day through food.
That's good. Yeah. And what's the preferred type of vitamin C right now?
Well, the one I use the one from Premier Research Labs in my practice, and that comes from the camu berry. Most of that company, they don't have any excipients in their products. A lot of vitamin C you'll see comes from ascorbic acid, and I would prefer that it comes actually from food. They say that ascorbic acid isn't necessarily complete. There's 3 components to vitamin C, and it doesn't have all 3 components.
Okay, so stay away from that type of vitamin C, because it may not be as absorbable.
It might not be as effective.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what type of vitamin C are you taking?
Well, you know, I take, I'm trying to think, I switch around. I do a little bit of both.
Okay.
You know, it just depends. Because I like to have it around where I'm eating, you know, I'll take a lot of it.
Well, so what type? Is it ester C? Do you know what type of C
I don't take
you're
ester
taking?
C.
Okay.
I take, you know, I'm blanking on this one.
Okay.
I take Designs for Health, vitamin C. That's
Okay.
one of the brands. And so I don't even pay attention anymore. I mean, I knew this answer to this question one time. I also take cheap vitamin C, the ascorbic acid. vitamin C. I do know I don't catch colds, as we've talked about, no matter what.
Yeah. So why don't we tell our friends at home, what if you're already sick? You know,
Yeah.
what should you do? How should you nurse yourself back to health? If you were to get sick, what would you do?
Well, I would make sure that I would keep my digestion to a minimum. That I would want my immune system, and that would be if I was sick in general, period. I would want to do everything I can so my body doesn't have to work on digestion, and it could work on fighting off the problem, whatever that would be. So I'd probably make sure that I'm properly food combining. So I would make sure I'm going to have lean proteins and low glycemic vegetables. So I'm not going to have pasta and chicken or things that would neutralize with alkaline and acid and take a long time to digest.
When
so that'd
you're
be number
sick,
one.
sometimes you just want chicken soup.
So
with pasta.
then, exactly.
So
So,
we'll talk
so if
about
you had
bone
to have
broth.
rice, pasta, or whatever, I just would have it with a protein.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have alkaline and acid together neutralizing. So I would do everything I can to, and keep in mind, I don't think I've had a cold. I'm speaking almost as an expert on this in many years. I mean, who knows? How long? 8th, 9th grade, I don't know. So
That's amazing,
then
Randy.
but
Freak of
sometimes I feel
nature.
like it's coming on though, and I have to do this. And then I want to make sure I keep my vitamin C high. And, you know, I want to, you know, make sure I'm having good oils. But the sleep is the key. So as much, you know, you mentioned on another show where I don't have a lot of stress. I have a lot of stress. So if I don't sleep 3 days in a row,
You manage stress well.
But I
Let's put it that way.
I feel a cold coming on, or what I think people act like when they have a cold, right? I've viewed other people that get it. And so I would want to make sure that I get 8 hours of sleep. Okay, I'd want to keep my activity low, like a turtle. You know, slow. You don't want to move slow, right? So I would watch what I'm eating, kind of like a calorie restriction. Food combined properly. Take the vitamins. Take things that kill the bad bugs, like garlic and oregano. I will tell you, I've gone through phases of like the mushrooms. I mean, because you're a nutritionist, you're really up to date, and I go in and out of doing those things.
Sure.
I mean, sometimes I'll sit at a conference and I hear like a mushroom lecture, and I'm on mushrooms for 6 months. But then it wears off and I get off. But
I think everyone does that. I mean, I can't tell you how many clients I've had in my office with a big bag of stuff. I saw this on Dr. Oz, and so then they're taking it for a long time.
So the question to you, so what would you do if you're...
Well, what did I do, just now recovering? I drink hot water with lemon, and I put some honey in it, especially if you have a cough, and I use raw honey 2, 3, 4 times a day with a splash of apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And so that will start to help break up congestion, and it's very soothing. And I drink healing bone broth. So chicken bone broth, you want chicken soup, right? There's a reason it got nicknamed Jewish penicillin, is because it really does work. And so I drink healing bone broth that...
But what's the mechanism of why it works? What do you think?
I can speak to the type of broth that I suggest and drink, and that these are raw chicken bones. You're basically drinking liquid mineral, and if you're getting enough minerals, that will support your immune system. But also the broth that I use is they put the feet in there to cook the broth, and all the collagen is found in the feet, and so collagen is going to build the mucosal lining within your gut, and so therefore you're going to be able to trap bad bacteria and mobilize it out of the body.
Okay.
Makes sense?
It
So I
does.
would drink a mug of bone broth. I agree with you to keep digestion to a minimum, but you still have to keep your nutrition up. So I would drink a mug of bone broth and put some coconut oil, which is a great antifungal, and good fats, good medium chain fats. And sometimes I even add and I put some gelatin in there just to get very easy protein to digest without my body having to do anything. So I was drinking that a few times a day. And then this works like a charm for congestion. And those of you that have sinus infections, learn about the Daikon Radish. Do you know what that is?
No.
I should have brought one.
Okay, Daikon Radish.
The Daikon Radish. And so it looks like a long, white, translucent carrot. And it's not as pungent tasting as a regular red radish, or not as spicy. And so that helps to thin out, it's like nature's Mucinex or something. It helps to thin out mucus so you can mobilize it out of the body. And so I have people peel it, and this is what I did being sick, and then slice it and steep it in hot water for 10 minutes. And then you drink it like a tea. And so that's a great thing to get your congestion out, because that's what your body's doing to be congested. It's wrapping up bacteria and mucus, and you want to transport that bacteria out of the body as quickly as you can. And so that's something you can use for that.
Okay, okay, good. So obviously no gluten, no dairy, You know, all known
Dairy's
allergens.
the worst.
All
The
known
worst
allergens
when you're sick.
out when you're sick. I mean, humans, when we get sick, we lose our appetite. One of the nice things about chicken soup that you mentioned, I think that when we talk about mechanism, is because it's easy to digest. You're not eating really anything. You've got a little bit of the salt, which kills bacteria, especially in periodontal disease.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, no, go ahead.
No,
I
go
don't want
ahead.
to interrupt you.
So I'm trying to think, because I love what you're saying, and I think that, yeah, if you go as liquid as possible, probably during a sick time, your body can do what it does best.
But you can't eat vegetables. My mom was so awesome, and she made me this big thing of green juice, and it was just disgusting to me. I couldn't drink it while I was sick, which is really interesting. And to me, it's like I would say mostly cooked foods, nothing raw when you're sick, nothing that's going to take energy to digest.
Interesting.
Mostly hot, warm, cooked things.
And now, but you still, were you not sleeping a lot or something? That you got, because you're a healthy person.
I'm a healthy person,
eat right,
yes.
Take
But I had my
supplements.
fun in New York City, and it was freezing. I had a lot of meetings. I have a lot of friends there, and so I would be going right from happy hour to dinner, and then you know by the
So
time
what's
you get
your take
home,
on
it's
it? Why did
two
you
in the
get-
morning, a couple of nights
Okay,
in a
so
row.
you weren't sleeping like 5 hours a night, maybe.
Right, I was sleeping maybe 5, 6 hours a night, and I knew that I was pushing it. I would come right from a wedding to a meeting, and
You were cold?
and
'Cause
it
you're
was
pretty lean. I mean, you're
freezing there.
okay. So you're because you don't have a lot of body fat. I mean, you have veins on top of your muscles that are showing today. Have you noticed that on the top of your biceps?
Well, I noticed that because you brought it up
No,
before
but
the show.
were you doing curls? I know you were changing. And
I do push-ups, like, you know, you see me right before every show.
Do you really?
No, but I've been sick, Randy. I got to get back to my workout routine. You know, I've been off for about 10 days.
What about exercise to build the immune system?
Sure, exercise helps with the release of cortisol, which is anti-inflammatory, boost your immune system, get your lymphatic system to flow and to release toxins. So you got to be exercising, you know, on a regular basis.
What's your favorite exercise? And don't say yoga. No, I'm joking.
I do love yoga.
How often do you do yoga, by the way?
Well, in my perfect world, 3 times a week.
Is that right?
Yeah, yoga, Pilates, jogging, those are my things.
You jog too? I never knew you jogged.
Oh, you're learning so much about me today. Jog on the beach a couple times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Problem with jogging on the beach, you hit the water, you got to turn around, you come back.
No, well, you know what I did is I hired a running coach because I was like, I need to get back into this. And so, not necessarily running coach, but running buddy, but he helps me with my form.
Okay.
So that someone is waiting there and I have to meet him.
Did you have bad form before you hired him?
I have to meet him at 8 a.m. You know, and so we have to. If you kind of get off the mark, like then you need some help getting back on. Just to, you know, someone's waiting for you, just like a personal trainer or something. Like use it to get back in the swing.
So we're out of time. Action items.
Action items.
What can they do?
Okay, what can you do? You can eat maitake or shiitake mushrooms a couple times a week.
Okay.
You can get into Daikon Radish. You can take Nature's Flu Shot with, and we'll put the recipe below. I'll give you the recipe. We'll put the recipe below. You can take Nature's Flu Shot, and you can get a lot of garlic in your diet. Okay. What are your action items? That's what I want to know.
I would agree
Vitamin
with those.
C.
Get lots of rest.
Yes.
Get lots of rest. Eat lean protein, low glycemic vegetables, and get lots of rest. And get rid of gluten and dairy. And I think the rest will work itself out. But I think that this is very important because as I'm listening to this, you know, because I'm so busy interviewing medical doctors and different plastic surgeons and this and that, that I've been just 3 years away from the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. It's been 2 years. You forget this stuff. And for me to hear this stuff, it's great. It's great info. And I know people watching this, you know, the people that watch this show are very sophisticated. So I think that what I'm building up to is I think that they need to subscribe to your blog.
To the whole
because
journey.
your blog has this information.
Because I'm eating and sleeping and breathing this stuff, and we do a new week. There's a new blog at thewholejourney.com.
Yeah.
So
it's very positive. It's good. I want to thank you for coming. Oh, well, I was going to thank you for coming on the show.
No, I'm
but
your co-host.
it's our show.
It's our show, the Randy and Christa Show. News that makes you healthier.
All right. So you could check your local listings. We're on Doctor TV. You could also go to wellnesshour.com. We have some of the taped episodes there. You have it on, where can they find it on your site?
It's mostly on our YouTube channel. I have a couple on thewholejourney.com.
Okay, good.
But we have the Randy and Christa YouTube channel where we're uploading most of them. They're most
and news
there,
that makes
right?
you healthier. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's today's show. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for being here.